Remember the milkman's daily visits or the hum of the mimeograph machine? Join me as we explore the nostalgic world of 20th century jobs that once defined our everyday lives, filled with surprising stories and cherished memories. Gas station attendants. Remember the days when a trip to the gas station was more than just a fuel stop? Gas station attendants were the jack of all trades in the golden age of road trips, offering not only fuel, but a touch of personal care to every traveler. They didn't just pump gas, they cleaned windshields, checked oil, and offered a friendly chat. Can you recall the friendly attendant who always greeted you with a warm smile and made sure your car was road ready? Back in the mid-20th century, pulling into a gas station was akin to visiting an old friend who ensured your car was in tip-top shape. Equipped with tool belts and genuine hospitality, these attendants were an integral part of the travel experience, as essential as the highways themselves. Do you miss the personal touch and care that came with every visit? As self-service became the norm, these roadside guardians gradually faded away, turning full service into a nostalgic luxury. Imagine the comforting routine of seeing that familiar face, knowing your car was in good hands. Let's take a moment to appreciate these unsung heroes who made every journey a bit more special. Teletype operators. Do you remember a time when instant messaging wasn't a thing? Teletype operators were the keystrokes behind the news and long-distance chatter before emails took over. Manning their teletypewriters, they were like the telegraph operators of the modern era, sending bursts of news and personal tidbits through buzzing lines. Can you imagine the scene? Fingers dancing on keys like pianists, creating a symphony of taps and clacks now replaced by the quiet glow of screens? From the jitterbug days of the 1930s to the disco fever of the 1970s, these operators were the town criers of both global headlines and intimate tales. They thrived in an era where the sound of teletype machines was the heartbeat of newsrooms and communication hubs. Do you miss the tactile connection of pressing keys and waiting for the message to transmit? As the digital age dawned, these tactile messengers became silent, their once urgent tapping now a quaint memory. Imagine the excitement of receiving a teletype message, knowing that someone miles away was thinking of you. Ready for another blast from the past? Let's dive into the world of pin setters in bowling alleys. Pin setters in bowling alleys. In the days before machines took over, pin setters were the hidden artisans who kept the game rolling, manually resetting pins and returning balls. These workers were the unseen heroes of every thrilling strike and spare during the 1940s and 1950s. Picture the scene, every crash of the pins followed by the quick, silent work of a pin setter, ensuring the game continued smoothly. These skilled individuals moved with precision and speed, their deft hands and sharp eyes making them an essential part of the bowling experience. Their presence was as integral to the game as the polished lanes and the satisfying sound of a perfect strike. Imagine the atmosphere of a bustling bowling alley, where the human touch added a unique rhythm to the game. As automation surged in the late 50s, the era of the manual pin setter quietly came to a close. The rhythmic clatter of their work was replaced by the hum of machines, marking the end of a time when human touch was integral to the game. Milkman. Can you recall the joy of finding fresh milk on your doorstep, delivered by the friendly neighborhood milkman? The milkman, once a familiar morning figure, epitomized doorstep dairy deliveries, shaping daily routines in neighborhoods from the 1920s through the 1970s. With the gentle clink of bottles and a warm smile, they brought essentials like milk, butter, and cream directly to your door. Their daily visits were more than just a delivery, they were a symbol of community spirit and old-fashioned convenience. The milkman's happy tune and the anticipation of fresh deliveries became a cherished part of everyday life. Do you miss the simplicity of those mornings, when you could rely on a familiar face to bring you what you needed? As supermarket shopping became the norm, the personal touch of the milkman gradually disappeared. The excitement of doorstep deliveries was replaced by the impersonal efficiency of grocery store aisles. This shift from personal service to anonymous convenience reflects a broader change in how society values time and efficiency over personal connections. Ready for another trip down memory lane? Let's explore the world of the Iceman, the cool custodian of early 20th century summers. Iceman. Remember the days before refrigerators graced every kitchen? The ice delivery man was a beacon of relief during sweltering summers, delivering vital ice for cooling and preserving edibles. From the dawn of the 20th century to the mid-1950s, their arrival was as welcome as a dip in a cool pool. Can you picture the Iceman maneuvering massive ice blocks, essential for keeping homes and businesses frosty? These cool custodians were more than just delivery men, they were lifelines in an era when electric refrigeration was still a distant dream. Do you remember the anticipation of hearing the Iceman's approach, knowing that relief from the summer heat was on its way? Their service was a daily ritual, integral to the rhythm of life. With the advent of electric refrigeration, the role of the Iceman gradually vanished. The hum of refrigerators replaced the clink of ice tongs, and the once vital service faded into historical obscurity. The romantic era of ice delivery now remains a frost-kissed memory in our collective history, a nostalgic echo of a time when the simple delivery of ice brought immense joy and relief. As we reminisce about the Iceman, let's appreciate the simplicity and ingenuity of those times. Ready for more nostalgia? Elevator operators. Elevator operators were more than just button pushers. They were the conductors of vertical journeys in towering buildings. From the early 1900s to the disco era of the 1970s, these operators masterfully controlled manual lifts, elevating passengers not just in floors but in spirits with their friendly banter. Can you remember the warm smile and pleasant conversation that turned a simple elevator ride into a brief, friendly visit? Riding an elevator back then was quite the opposite of today's solitary, automated skyward jaunts. Each trip was a small social interaction, a moment of human connection amidst the hustle and bustle of city life. These operators knew their regular passengers by name, adding a personal touch to the daily commute. Do you miss the charm of these genial guides who made every elevator ride feel special? As automated elevators took over, these human navigators of the vertical voyage gracefully bowed out, leaving us with the silent, impersonal, button-pressing ritual we know today. The transition marked the end of an era where personal touch and human interaction were integral to even the simplest of tasks. Ready for more nostalgia? Stay tuned as we explore the world of soda jerks, the flamboyant virtuosos of the soda fountain, and many more great topics coming up. Soda jerks. Do you remember the vibrant soda fountains that lit up every mom-and-pop shop from the Charleston dance floors of the 20s to the moonwalks of the 60s? Soda jerks, the flamboyant virtuosos behind the counter, were more than just beverage dispensers. They were the architects of liquid joy. Picture them orchestrating bottles with a magician's finesse, whisking up frothy wonders and creamy fantasies that delighted young and old alike. These soda fountains were the heartbeats of their communities, resounding with laughter and the symphony of clinking glass. The soda jerks' razzle-dazzle performance, as effervescent as their concoctions, turned a simple soda into a memorable experience. Can you recall the excitement of watching your favorite soda jerk at work, crafting the perfect ice cream soda or malted milkshake with a flair that made each visit special? As the era of quick bites and canned drinks unfolded, these colorful craftsmen and their social oases gently lost their sparkle. The communal joy of the soda fountain gradually distilled into a sweet echo of times past. Do you miss the charm and excitement of those lively counters, where every drink was made with a personal touch and a bit of showmanship? The soda jerk, with their friendly banter and skillful hands, created more than just drinks. They crafted memories. What other beloved professions do you remember from those days? Film projectionists. Film projectionists, the silent artists of the silver screen, skillfully maneuvered film reels to bring stories to life. From the early 1900s until the advent of digital projection, they were as essential to movie magic as the stars on the screen. Tucked away in their booths, they were the conductors of cinematic symphonies, ensuring each frame was projected with precision and care. Do you remember the anticipation as the lights dimmed and the familiar hum of the projector filled the theater? These projectionists were the unseen heroes, their deft hands and keen eyes orchestrating the dance of light and shadow on the screen. Each click and whir of the film reel added to the magic, creating an immersive experience that transported audiences to different worlds. Can you recall the thrill of watching a movie, knowing that a skilled projectionist was behind the scenes, making it all possible? As digital projectors took over, the craft of the film projectionist began to fade. The tactile connection of handling film was replaced by the sterile precision of digital technology. The once familiar sounds and sights of the projection booth have now become nostalgic memories, reminiscent of a cherished black and white classic. Do you miss the unique charm and artistry that film projectionists brought to the movie-going experience? Blacksmiths. Blacksmiths, the original iron artisans, transformed raw metal into necessities, from sturdy tools to reliable horseshoes, in a time predating industrial giants. Their forges were symphonies of progress, humming with the sounds of creation until the 1950s. Picture the intense heat and the rhythmic clang of the hammer, each strike shaping metal with precision and care. Can you imagine the skill and strength required to craft each piece by hand? Each forge was a haven of heat and handiwork, far removed from the cold precision of modern machinery. The blacksmith's craft was a blend of art and utility, where every item was a testament to human ingenuity and effort. Do you miss the warm glow of the forge and the sight of a skilled smith at work, creating tools that were both beautiful and functional? As technology marched forward, these skilled smiths saw their trade shift from everyday necessity to a historic art form. The once essential role of the blacksmith gradually faded, leaving behind nostalgic melodies of hammer beats and the warm light of the forge. The transition marked the end of an era where craftsmanship and personal touch were integral to everyday life. Switchboard operators. Switchboard operators, the human bridges of yesteryear's telecommunication, connected calls with a deft interplay of plugs and wires. From their heyday in the era of jazz bands to the age of rock and roll, these operators added a personal touch to every conversation. Imagine the scene: a busy switchboard room buzzing with activity, where operators skillfully connected each call, making every connection personal. Do you remember the friendly voice asking, "How may I help you?" Unlike today's automated systems, each connection was a small human interaction, navigating a complex network of calls with precision and care. These operators not only linked calls, but also formed a vital part of the community's communication fabric. Can you recall the reassurance of knowing a real person was connecting your call, adding a touch of warmth and reliability to every conversation? As technology advanced, these human hubs were replaced by silent digital systems, transforming bustling switchboard rooms into serene relics. The friendly voices and the personal touch of switchboard operators gradually faded, overtaken by the sterile prompts of automation. Do you miss the charm and personal touch that switchboard operators brought to our daily lives? Speaking of personal touches, let's reminisce about the newsboys, those early morning heralds of bustling cityscapes and sleepy suburbs. Newsboys. Do you remember the early morning call of "extra, extra" echoing through the streets? Newsboys, the heralds of bustling cityscapes and sleepy suburbs, once filled our mornings with their spirited cries. From the dawn of the 20th century to the disco days of the 70s, their voices were the rhythmic beat of urban life. Can you picture them with stacks of papers under their arms, delivering the latest headlines with enthusiasm and energy? These pint-sized town criers were more than just delivery boys. They were symbols of the bustling, interconnected world before the age of tweets and breaking news alerts. With each paper handed out, they connected communities to global happenings, becoming a lifeline of information. Do you miss the excitement of flipping through a freshly delivered newspaper, feeling the ink on your fingers, and the anticipation of reading the day's news? As headlines moved from print to pixels, the iconic role of the newsboy gradually dimmed. Their vibrant calls have now become nostalgic whispers, a reminder of an era when news was something tangible, not just a click away. What other cherished memories from the past bring a smile to your face? Hand-painted billboard artists. Do you remember the towering hand-painted billboards that once adorned city skylines and highways? Hand-painted billboard artists, the Rembrandts of the roadways, transformed these billboards into breathtaking works of art before the digital era's dominance in the 1980s. These artists combined their remarkable skill with daring heights, creating vibrant, eye-catching canvases that captured the public's imagination. Can you picture the intricate details and bold colors that made each billboard a unique masterpiece? These creations were more than just advertisements. They were landmarks that infused cityscapes with color and life. Each hand-painted billboard told a story, drawing the eyes and admiration of passers-by. The meticulous strokes and vibrant hues of these artists brought a personal touch to advertising that is rare today. Do you recall the sense of wonder when you spotted a freshly painted billboard, its image larger than life against the urban backdrop. As digital printing emerged, these manually crafted masterpieces gradually receded into the background, overtaken by the swift efficiency of technological advancements. The bold strokes and vibrant paints of these artists have now become treasured echoes from advertising's handcrafted golden age. Knocker-uppers. Do you remember a time when waking up didn't involve the jarring sound of an alarm clock, but rather a gentle tap on your window? Imagine a time when your alarm clock was a person with a stick. That was the reality with knocker-uppers. These early risers wandered through towns and neighborhoods, tapping windows with their long sticks to wake sleepers for their daily toils. Can you picture the peaceful mornings they facilitated, ensuring that everyone started their day on time? Knocker-uppers were particularly important for shift workers and others without the luxury of natural light to signal the start of their day. Up until the 1940s, this profession was as crucial as a morning cup of coffee. They moved quietly and reliably, their presence a comforting routine in many communities. Do you miss the personal touch and reliability that came with a knocker-upper's wake-up call? As alarm clocks found their way into every bedroom, the charming role of the knocker-upper slowly vanished into the mist of time. Remember those days of human touch starting your morning? If you enjoyed reminiscing about knocker-uppers, stay tuned as we dive into the world of lamplighters, the early evening guardians who brought light to the darkened streets. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more nostalgic journeys. Lamplighters. Imagine a time when streets were dark and mysterious, illuminated only by the soft glow of gas lamps. Lamplighters were the unsung heroes of the night from the early 19th to the early 20th century. Every evening at dusk, these dedicated workers would walk the streets carrying long poles to ignite the lamps, and at dawn, they would return to extinguish them. Their steady routine not only brought light to the darkness, but also a sense of safety and community. Do you remember tales from your grandparents about the nightly glow of these lamps? As electric lights emerged, the need for lamplighters faded, leaving behind a quaint memory of a time when lighting up the evening was a manual task rather than a simple flick of a switch. What stories do you think these lamplighters could tell? Imagine the countless steps they took each night, ensuring that every corner of the city was lit. Picture the quiet streets coming to life with a warm, inviting glow. Each lamplighter's journey marked by the soft hiss of gas igniting. This profession, once essential, now feels like a charming relic of a bygone era, evoking a sense of nostalgia and wonder. Typists. Typists were the backbone of office work in the mid-20th century, especially from the 1920s through the 1980s. Imagine the bustling sounds of an office, the rhythmic clacking of typewriter keys, the soft murmur of voices, and the occasional ring of a telephone. These skilled professionals, predominantly women, mastered the typewriter, transforming chaotic thoughts into neatly typed documents, letters, and reports with remarkable speed and precision. Picture a large room filled with rows of typists, fingers flying over keys, eyes focused, embodying diligence and endurance. For many women, typing was their entry into the workforce, offering a sense of independence and achievement. These typists were the silent engines behind businesses, law firms, and government offices, their work crucial yet often unrecognized. As technology evolved, the typewriter, once a symbol of modern efficiency, began to fade. Word processors and personal computers brought a new era, and the familiar clickety-clack of typewriters became a nostalgic memory. The profession of typists, once vital, gradually became obsolete. Yet the legacy of these dedicated workers endures, reminding us of a time when precision and hard work were the heartbeat of every office. The memory of typists evokes a poignant sense of nostalgia, a testament to their significant role in shaping the professional world. Switchmen. Have you ever wondered who guided the trains safely to their destinations in the early days of railroads? Switchmen were the pivotal figures in the railway industry, managing the complex network of tracks and switches from the mid-19th century to the mid-20th century. These dedicated workers ensured that trains followed the correct routes, preventing collisions and maintaining precise schedules. Imagine the bustling atmosphere of a railway yard, with switchmen expertly manipulating levers and signals, their eyes scanning the tracks with unwavering focus. Their role required keen attention to detail and an intimate knowledge of railway systems. Every decision they made was critical, as even a minor error could lead to disastrous consequences. As technology advanced, automated signaling and switching systems began to replace the need for manual operation. The once crucial role of switchmen has largely disappeared, their contributions now a historic chapter in the story of rail transportation. Their legacy, however, lives on, reminding us of a time when human vigilance was the backbone of railway safety and efficiency. Just as switchmen were essential to railroads, another group of dedicated workers played a crucial role in our daily lives: postal carriers on foot. Postal carriers on foot. Have you ever wondered how people received their mail before the age of motorized delivery and digital communication? Postal carriers on foot were the lifeline of communication, delivering letters and packages door to door in both urban and rural areas. From the 19th century well into the 20th century, these dedicated workers braved all weather conditions, ensuring that personal messages, bills, and news reached every household reliably and on time. Imagine the sight of a mail carrier walking briskly through neighborhoods, a heavy bag slung over their shoulder. Their friendly faces and familiar routes became a daily fixture in communities, fostering a sense of connection and trust. Whether it was the excitement of a long-awaited letter or the routine of receiving monthly bills, postal carriers were an integral part of everyday life. These carriers' commitment was unwavering as they navigated rain, snow, and heat to complete their rounds. With the rise of motorized delivery and the advent of email and online services, the traditional image of a mailman on foot has become a nostalgic emblem of personal connection and dependable service. Their legacy endures, reminding us of a time when human effort was at the heart of our communication network. Photographic film developers. Before digital photography became ubiquitous, photographic film developers were the magicians behind the scenes, transforming exposed film into cherished photographs. From the early 20th century through the 1990s, these skilled technicians worked in darkrooms, using chemicals and precise techniques to bring images to life. Imagine the dim red glow of the darkroom, the smell of developing chemicals, and the careful handling of negatives, all contributing to the creation of tangible memories. Film developers' expertise was essential for professional photographers and amateurs alike. They understood the delicate balance of exposure and development, turning moments captured on film into clear, vibrant photographs. Each step in the process, from developing the film to making prints, required precision and patience, showcasing their artistry and craftsmanship. As digital cameras and smartphones revolutionized photography, the darkroom process and the role of film developers have largely vanished. The magic of waiting to see how a shot turned out has been replaced by instant digital previews. Yet the legacy of film developers endures, highlighting a time when creating a photograph was both a science and an art. We are almost at the end of the journey, but we still have a profession that we should not forget. Radio actors. Have you ever wondered who brought stories to life over the airwaves before television? Radio actors were the voices that captivated audiences from the 1920s to the 1950s. In the golden age of radio, these talented performers used vocal expression and sound effects to create immersive dramas, comedies, and variety shows. Picture families gathered around the radio, hanging on every word and sound, transported to different worlds purely through voice and imagination. These radio actors were the stars of their time, their voices becoming as familiar as the faces of television actors today. They mastered the art of conveying emotion, suspense, and humor without the aid of visual cues, relying solely on their vocal skills to engage listeners. The power of their performances painted vivid pictures in the minds of their audience, turning radio into a theater of the mind. As television became the dominant medium, the era of radio drama waned, and the distinctive craft of radio acting became a nostalgic memory. Yet, the legacy of these performers endures, reminding us of a time when storytelling relied on the power of voice and imagination. If you enjoyed this look back, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I can't wait for you to come watch the next video.